AFSP, or the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, is an organization dedicated to saving lives and bringing hope to those affected by suicide. So that's both people who have lost someone to suicide and need help and support through that grief journey, as well as people who are struggling or support someone who struggles. We're really looking to bring awareness to the issue, to fund research to help us find out how to prevent suicide, and then to get resources into people's hands so they can use those.
Many of us who volunteer are either attempt or loss or both survivors. Most of the time when someone loses a person to suicide, or if a person is struggling, they feel so alone. And by having these incredibly big community events, we have hundreds of people coming together all in the same place, healing, sharing, celebrating life, honoring loved ones lost, and just realizing and seeing that we're not alone in this journey.
We are at our Salem Out of the Darkness Walk, where a lot of folks in the community are coming together to raise awareness for suicide, support each other. We wear beads to honor different people, different types of folks that we've lost to suicide or who have struggled. I wear 3 different colors. Purple is the loss of a friend or a relative, so I've lost 2 friends to suicide, so I wear 2 purple. Blue is general support of suicide prevention, so I wear blue, and almost everyone here will be wearing blue. And then teal is supporting someone who's attempted or struggles. So I wear this for a friend who is actively struggling but still with us, and I'm hoping will stay with us. So we're all just coming together to raise awareness of this leading cause of death and try to prevent it so that other folks don't have to lose ones that they love.
Suicide can often be a very isolating experience, so we like to have those visual reminders so that people can look around and see that they're not alone. AFSP actually started with these walks 20 years ago, and they were their first way of raising money. So when AFSP started, there was a group of lost survivors who were really interested in funding more suicide prevention research. It wasn't really something that had been researched before. And so they banded together with a group of researchers and said, hey, if we raise money, will you do this research? And it just kind of started a movement. That year, about 4,000 people came out. This year, I think there's 250,000 people nationwide that are doing it. And we really like the sense of walking together. Grief is a journey, healing is a journey, finding support is a journey. And so there's that sense that we're moving together as a community from hopefully one place to another place.
So we were invited to come as a team. So there are a bunch of us here, and we are just offering support through the love of animals. We're wandering around and just letting people love on the dogs as they see fit. As most people know, there's been a lot of research done about just the benefits of animals and the therapeutic benefits of animals. And at an event like this, I think we need it. I think that suicide is obviously a very devastating thing. And the more that we talk about it and normalize it, the more that we can, I think, help people that need the help and support the survivors that are impacted by it.
It is important for the community to know that it's okay to talk about suicide. So often it's something that's in the shadows, it's in the darkness. Our goal here is to bring it out of the darkness, to talk about it.
I think suicide tends to be something that is kept secret. There's shame involved with suicide. There are a lot of things involved with suicide that keeps it a reality that tends to be isolated. And so having it in a community like this, in an open, happy, engaged, there's signs around here, don't give up, you matter, that's for all of us, because I believe that all of us who do have mental health backgrounds in our lives, a big part of our recovery is that encouragement that we're okay, things happen. Recovery is not linear. We go up and down, we have good times, then we have not so good times.
A lot of people are hesitant to bring up the word. There's been a sense in the past, there's been a fear that if you ask someone if you're thinking about suicide, you're gonna put that idea in their head. And one of the things that we learned from research is that that's not true. One of the best things you can do if you're worried about someone is ask them directly. Ask them if they're thinking about suicide. Ask them if they're thinking about taking their life. If they are thinking of it, they're going to be really relieved that you broke the silence and said that scary thing first. And we know it's not going to put the idea in their head. So I really want people to know, if you're worried about someone, it's okay. It's okay to ask directly about suicide. And if you want tips for how to have that conversation, AFSP has resources.
If you or a loved one is struggling, there is help out there. We have the National Lifeline 988. You can call or text it around the clock every day of the year. You can also visit the AFSP website, afsp.org, and there are all sorts of resources available to get help, whether you're a person who struggles or someone who has lost someone to suicide. All the resources are available on the website.
If someone does say they're thinking about suicide, get them to help. It's not your responsibility to save anyone. It's your role to get them to someone, professional care who knows how to help someone struggling.
So AFSP is primarily a voluntary-based organization. So I'm our one staff member for the state, but all of our work here in Oregon is led by a volunteer board of directors, and the majority of our programming is done by volunteers. Our approach is really that you don't have to be a counselor, you don't have to be an expert to have a safe conversation about suicide. So people can go to our website and sign up for a volunteer orientation, and we can train you to lead a free presentation within your community. We can get you resources to bring out there. As many volunteers as we have, each one helps us get into a new place, whether it's a school or a church or a business. And the other thing that people can do to help is donate. So we are a nonprofit organization, and these Out of the Darkness walks are our biggest fundraising of the year. Last year, we provided resources and programs to about 8,000 people in Oregon. And so making a donation, whatever amount, helps us to be able to provide our resources, our programming, events like this for free.
Every time that I've come and been a part of the walk and just seen, especially in the beginning when they do the bead ceremony and they have you hold up your beads, and it's always just a very emotional and powerful moment. It's just one of those things that people don't talk about it, and then you look around and you're like, all of these people have been impacted. And it's important, I think, for them to have a community to know that they're not alone in this really devastating thing that happens.